Hi, everybody. So this is just going to be a short 10-15 minute max video on core foundation moves, focusing on diastasis rectis and just the elements of transverse abdominal engagement. So all you're going to need is just yourself and a floor, optional sofa, bench, wall to elevate your feet just for the first exercise. And then from there, everything's on the floor. So first and foremost, anchor back of shoulders into the back of the ribs into the mat. Find that even plane from hip bone to pubic bone. And then whether there's an arch in your low back or not, just settle into neutral. From there, go ahead and elevate the feet or knees bent. Put one hand on the belly, maybe one hand on the heart, or wrap the hands around the ribs. And we're going to go for 1 minute on transverse abdominal breathing. I want you to inhale through nose, let the ribs expand out laterally. And as you exhale, focus on that draw in without moving through the pelvis. We're going to go for 1 minute. Clock is on. So again, just inhale, expand outside of ribs. And as you exhale for about 5 seconds out of mouth, feel how everything is just sewing into midline and you're not gripping from the tailbone. We're not tucking the tailbone under. You could use your hands as a visual to whether it's sewing ab muscles back together, or maybe it's focusing on staying more plugged in and not doming or coning. Focus on engaging into that deeper inner core unit, transverse abdominals, lower abdominals. And as we continue to keep inhaling, we want to keep breathing out side of ribs, back of ribs, not just the front of the body. Hopefully starting to feel a little bit of some awareness into the back of the legs, the hamstrings and the glutes. And go ahead and release. Your next exercise is going to be going into alternating heel slides. We're going to be working just for about 30 seconds. So I'm just changing up the timer just for a sec. And then go ahead and 2 feet are down on the floor. Find that neutral pelvis. Hands can palpate as much as you want. And I want you to inhale as you just slide one leg out. And then exhale as you slide the leg in. Here we go. So we want to focus on just staying drawn in right here in those lower abdominals. It's not about how far the leg goes out. It's an inhale as you're keeping this engaged and leg extends out, and exhale, draw in from the hamstrings. You want to focus on pelvis stability so there's evenness from the ribs to the hips. Hand can be on the belly, they can be around the rib cage, they can palpate the lower abdominals, but we're looking for no arching in the mid back. And then go ahead and let's change sides. I'm just going to put my other hand on the belly and then inhale as you extend the leg out. Exhale as you slide it in. This is one where we're looking for no excessive arching into the mid back, the low back. We're looking to make sure that there's no hiking through either hips. So sometimes I use my fingers just to make sure ribs to hips stay stacked. And then go ahead and release. Rock your hips from left to right. Next one's going to be going into a bridge hover. So I want you to walk the heels in. I want you to scoop the tailbone. You're going to roll up, stay up into your bridge. Give me a nice readjustment. Tuck the tailbone under. Notice how I just pulled my ribs down a little bit more as you scoop. And you're going to hold. Time starts now, this 30-second plank. So focus on ribs stay pulling down. Oftentimes this is where I see people's mid-back start to arch. So scoop, squeeze into the glutes, squeeze into these hamstrings. We want this flatness right here in the abdominals. Eye gaze staying forward. You could always use your hands to make sure we're staying wrapped and plugged in. There's flatness in the front. We feel low abs working along with these hamstrings and glutes. We're going to do 10 reps up and down. So there's your bell. I want you to just lightly hinge and focus on this scoop, squeeze at the top. A nice little hinge coming down. Exhale, scoop at the top. Just give me about 5 more. Exhale. 1. Exhale up. 2. Just using my hands as a visual of how much I'm really just focusing on ribs pulling down. Focus on that draw in, that elongation in the low back. We're firing into the glutes. Last one. And then go ahead and roll it all the way down. Going into your side series, I want you to roll to one side. I'm going to lay on my left. I'm going to cradle my ear in the bottom bicep and bend the bottom knee. Top leg is straight. From there, oftentimes people just settle in and they drop excessively into this bottom hip bone. So I want you to squeeze from the lats, lift yourself up where you can slide your hand under and make this little pocket of sunshine. From there, you're going to raise your top leg up. And I want you to imagine like I'm pulling on your ankle, and I want you to reach that top leg longer than the bottom. And what that does is instantly stack your top hip over the bottom. And I want you to give me 3 breaths. So as you're holding this top leg up, top hand can be in front. I want you to inhale, let the side drop down, the air, belly go down, and then exhale, lift it up. Inhale right here. My air is going out the side rib. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, exhale. Give me 1 more. And exhale. From there, just hold this side plank. This is your side plank for today. So now I want you to just focus on staying lifted. You're using the lats, you're using the obliques right here. Top leg's just reaching longer than the bottom. So this top glute, glute max, glute medius is also firing. Notice that this hip is just level and flush with this top shoulder. Top hand can always be here in front. It can be on the hip. You can palpate the glute. You could always have the top hand behind the head like this. And just hold for 10, 9. So this is your side plank. Just resist doming, coning, or letting yourself just start to sink down and get tired right here for 3, 2, and 1. Release. Go ahead and change sides. So then again, cradle the ear in the bottom bicep, bottom knee's bent, and then go ahead and roll yourself back a little bit, lift that top leg longer than the bottom, create that small little pocket of sunshine. And then from there, inhale, let the air go out the side belly, and exhale, lift up. So I'm not allowing my shoulder to shrug, but we're starting to train the obliques and the rib cage how to breathe laterally. Unglue these ribs, unglue tightness in the lats. Last one. And hold right here, 30-second plank. So now your challenge is just keep those obliques fired. Keep the ribs pulling down. Stay scooped right here in the lower abdominals. Hands can always be on the belly. Just like we did when we were laying on our back. We want flatness right here. So no doming, coning, straining. Could always be top leg just lowered, but I'm going to challenge you. Keep this top abductor, glute medius fired, and just hold 10, 9. Just in through nose, out through mouth. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. All right. We come to hands and knees, and then we finish on our back. So you're almost done. So go ahead and come to your quadruped position. Just give me 3 cat-cows. So as we inhale, let everything out. I'm letting my belly hang. As I exhale, I draw in and round the spine. Look in between the legs. Inhale, go forward. Exhale, flexion of spine, tops of feet, shin drive down. And oftentimes with this one, we're looking for not just a stretch in this rounded position. This is where I'm really trying to lift my low belly up and out of my hands right here and really palpate, scoop, okay? All right, on this next one, settle into neutral. So right now I'm arched in my low back. So if I simply just knit the ribs, draw in, there's my draw in. So now I want you to press tops of feet down. And I want you to just hold this position for 10 seconds, and then we're going to tuck our toes. So focus on lifting the low belly and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7. Shoulders pulled down away from ears. Hands are pressing in the floor. Here's 4. This is our segue into plank. 3, 2. Hold that core connection. I'll tuck the toes. And every time you exhale, you're going to lift up without forcing air out the belly. Inhale, micro expand belly. Exhale, draw in and lift to hover. We do 5. Inhale, exhale, and lift to hover. 2. Exhale, lift to hover. 3. Exhale, lift to hover. 4. And then on this next one, we hold it for 10 seconds. Stay drawn in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. So before I even throw you into any kind of planks, we have to really stay plugged in and feel how we're keeping those ribs drawn in without pushing, doming, coning, forcing air forward. All right, from there, let's go into a bird dog. So go ahead and come back to hands and toes. Toes are untucked. Drive right leg straight back, but do not raise right leg up yet. Put your hand on the low belly, and as you exhale, lift low belly up and out of your hand. You're in a very straight spine. And then go ahead and just reach that left arm long. And just make sure you're very square in the body as far as nipple line, belly button, everything pointed down. From there, go ahead and with control, lift that right leg up and just hold. Did you rotate? Did you start to push air out? Notice how you want to stay drawn in right through here for 4, 3, 2. Take that left hand, touch the inside of your right knee. Inhale, extend out, just 5. Exhale. Inhale out, 1, 2, 3. Pressing top left foot into the mat, 4. And 5. Release. Wagtail, shake spine. All right, let's do the other side. Extend out the left leg. Knit the belly. Pull it in. Not over tucking. From there, reach right arm long. Squeeze that left glute. Launch lift. And then again, notice whether or not you started to push the belly forward or if you're staying lifted up and in right here, lifting out of my hand. And we go into hand and knee. In 3, 2, exhale, crunch. Inhale. So again, with the inhale, you want air to go out the side of your ribs, the back of your ribs, but we're not letting low air go out the low belly. You want to keep those abdominals engaged along with transverse. Last one coming up. And release, shake out shoulders. All right, we started your warm up with your transverse breathing with your feet elevated with support. So now we're going to advance. So I saved the hardest for last. So I want you laying on your back, neutral pelvis. I want you to extend your arms out where your elbows can straighten, but your shoulders can still stay anchored back here. So this is a 45 degree. So this is ideally like where we want to be, okay? So whether feet are on floor and you can focus on just your breathing and focus on the draw in, or you pick up one leg and then the other. This is your biggest expression, and really focusing on keeping that core engaged without starting to either arch in the mid back or when legs start going up, even if mid back was imprinted, that we're not starting to bread loaf or push air out. So you're going to finish with 30 seconds right here, whether it's one leg or two legs up. Here we go. Arms are at a 45. Focus on keeping that draw in, whether you keep a hand on the low belly, maybe you're keeping hands wrapped around the ribs, and you're just palpating, making sure that nothing's starting to poke. You want to feel the ribs pulling to midline. You're just micro kind of inhaling. You're really focusing on that strong exhale. You can squeeze the knees together. That gives you a little bit more support in pelvic floor. But we're not allowing hips to hike. And then go ahead and release. We finish with the dead bug and you are done. So go ahead and let's keep left leg up in air, right leg down, right arm is up. We inhale, extend out, exhale, pull it in. All right, and we go for 5. So just like we did alternating heel slides, we did some bird dogs on hands and knees. Here's 3. Use hands as needed, palpate, poke, prod, make sure everything stays pulled in, engaged, where it should. Last one. And change sides, neutral pelvis, mid back imprinted. Here we go. Inhale on the out. Exhale. Sew it in. 1. Right now, because I have the bench in front of me, that's actually keeping me in a good way from lowering my leg all the way down to the floor. Because really, we want to train our leg to move out in space to a 45-degree angle. That's the optimal sweet spot on keeping that core active. Last one coming up. And release. All right, you're done. Hope you found some helpful tips with this video, and I'll see you next time.